والله يدعو إلى دار السلام ويهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia had a question about zakah. When's the best time to give it? He says many people do give it in Ramadan, but of course we know that Dhul Hijjah, the first 10 days are some of the most blessed days. Should I give it in the first 10 days or Ramadan?
This question actually depends on when did you start having the nisab, the minimum amount which is zakatable. We say the nisab is measured by 85 grams of gold, or what's equivalent to it, or 200 grams of silver. Indicating that once you start having the nisab, you cannot really decide that you should have the nisab in the beginning of Ramadan or before or after. So it begins whenever it begins. A year from this time, an annual lunar calendar, 12 months from the date that you started having this nisab, if you preserve it, if you maintain it in saving or in investment for 12 lunar months, then it is zakatable. Let it be in Rajab, let it be in Sha'ban, in Ramadan, in the middle, by the end, in the beginning, it doesn't matter. So what really determines the date, the due date of paying the zakah, is the time that you started collecting and possessing the nisab. What if you really want to pay the zakah on your possessions, on your investment, on your saving during Ramadan, because this is a very favorable time? It is indeed a favorable time. The Prophet ﷺ was the most generous, and whenever Ramadan would approach, he would become even more generous. So Ramadan is a very blessed time, and we have to understand, generally speaking, that doing any virtuous act, or any ta'ah, or any ibadah, during special times such as Ramadan, special times such as during the Hajj, or the first 10 days and nights of the month of Dhul Hijjah, is much more recommended, where the thawab or the reward will be doubled and multiplied. That's a fact. But to achieve this and to pay the zakah during Ramadan, you cannot postpone it from its due date once it is due. Let's say that last year during Rajab, you started having the nisab, and mashallah, your wealth is increased, and now it is in hundreds of thousands. But you wanted to pay the zakah in Ramadan. Then your only bet, not your best bet, is that you may pay it in advance. In Ramadan, in advance. You should not postpone it and you say, inshallah, there is only 2 months left for Ramadan, so I can postpone my zakah payment until it is Ramadan, or until it is the first 10 of Dhul Hijjah. So number one, keep in mind, once the zakah is due, you should not postpone it. You should not keep it even as an investment for the poor. This is none of your business. This is the right of the fuqara and al-masakeen and al-muhtajeen and those who are in need. You should dispense it as soon as it is due. Is it permissible to pay it in advance? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, you can pay it a year in advance, not only a couple of months in advance. Then once it is due, you deduct it. So it is best if you try to schedule it to be paid during Ramadan. It's perfectly fine. Or during the first 10 of Dhul Hijjah. I personally prefer during Ramadan. Why? Because people are more in need during Ramadan. And this is a very special time to feed the masakeen by supporting them financially, to give them some provision. May Allah bless you for that. You're giving them their right, but it should not be postponed in order to coincide Ramadan. It's only permissible to pay it in advance to coincide the time of Ramadan.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh.